We want to make money. And the revenue that we want to make, we don't want to spend all of that revenue on fattening people or paying salaries of people. We want to use that revenue to develop our country. Because let me tell you one thing. It is the role of the government to create job opportunities for people. And there are people who are saying that no, it's not the role of the government to create job opportunities, so you can create job opportunity for yourself. Then what is the role of the government? Then it is better we say we should not have a government. The government is the one that should come down and see the way they can be able to generate job opportunities. Because Kenya now has become an expensive destination for any investor to build business. Why? Because of corruption. How many investors have come in our country who have come with billions of money, billions of dollars, who want to build business in our country, who want to establish industries in our country. But because of corruption, they cannot penetrate through. Because these people up there, they need money to allow for investment. That they have to corrupt people. Those people have to pay their bribe for them to invest in our country. So at the end of the process, these people, they give up and they go to another country. Because there is no investor who will invest in a country that corruption is the way of life. There is no investor who can invest in a country whereby electricity is very expensive. No investor can invest in a country whereby the infrastructure is poor. Every investor who comes to invest in the country, the first thing he wants to look around when he's shopping, he wants to ensure that this country is stable. This country, there is no corruption, so that he can be able to do his business or a business in a fair manner. He wants to ensure that electricity is not very expensive. The road network, the infrastructure, so that he can be able to move his products and raw materials easily, is available. But as long as Kenya, we are not developing our country to that extent, we cannot attract investors. That's how the government is supposed to create job opportunities. We want to make our country favorable to investors. But now you get an investor coming to Kenya to invest. Before even he sees a president, it takes almost maybe 2 months. Before an investor sees the cabinet secretary for a proposal, it takes several weeks, and then finally, when he meets these people, the investor realizes that he has to pay bribes so that these proposals can go through. And then no investor is ready to do that. Then they go to another country. We are chasing investors out of our country. And these are the investors, when they come to establish their business, are the ones who are going to create job opportunities for people. These are things that we should understand. It is simple. It's not a complex issue. You know, when we are criticizing the government, it doesn't mean we are hating the government. When we are criticizing the president, it doesn't mean we are against the president or we hate the president. No. When we are criticizing the government, what we mean is that we are pushing the government. We are exerting pressure on the government so that it can be able to deliver on its mandate. So that it can be able to deliver what it promised to people. If the government is not put under pressure, it cannot perform. People should be able to understand like that. Government sio mama yako, sio baba yako. Government sio ndugu yako, ndugu yangu. Government sio rafiki yako. Because the people who have power, if they are not given necessary pressure, they go sleeping. That's where corruption thrives. So there are people who feel we are misplaced when we are putting a lot of pressure to the government, when we are criticizing the government, we are checking the government. The role of opposition is not there to disturb the government aba inasumbua serikali, wanahakikisha kwamba mambo inafanywa kwa usawa. Hivyo ndio demokrasia inafanya kazi. Lakini now, the most opponents we get in this struggle are young people. people, young people we are fighting for are the one who are standing or become a stumbling block on our fight against corruption, on our fight against tribalism, on our fight against injustice. Young people, vijana ndio wako na matusi wakati ambao tunahakikisha kwamba serikali yetu inasakuwa fair. So one thing that we ministers, all of us, we have a responsibility. We have to raise up. We have to stand so that we can be able to give the government the necessary pressure so that they can be able to deliver their mandate to people. Because when we elected leaders, because democracy, in a democracy, is that the people have power to elect the government so that the government can be accountable. The government can be responsible to people. So, we elected the government and we gave them an agenda. These are things that you must do. And those are things that they have to do to people. And when you get the government now, has come up with other things, I say these are things we want to do to you, then that is tyranny. Democracy requires that the government has to listen to people. The voice of the people has to find a way.